You woke up today, but let me ask you honestly, did you really wake up? Or did you just open your eyes and continue the same silent battle you've been fighting for years? Because waking up isn't the act of leaving the bed. Waking up is realizing that your life is moving faster than your courage, faster than your discipline, and way faster than the lies you tell yourself to stay comfortable. One day you are 17, ambitious, careless in the most beautiful way, carrying dreams so loud they feel unstoppable, believing that the world is not just waiting for you, but whispering your name. Then life blinks, just once, softly, and suddenly you are 25, standing in front of a mirror you don't recognize anymore, holding plans you never executed, carrying potential that never landed, feeling a weight you can't explain, a heaviness that doesn't come from failure, but from opportunity you never chased. And then, without warning, another blink, a quieter one this time, 30 arrives. Not as an age, but as a realization. Clocks sound louder than heartbeats. Birthdays feel less like celebration and more like reminders. And time stops saying, "You have plenty," and starts whispering, "Hurry." And the most confusing part is this: you never planned to let life slip away. You never signed a contract with regret. You never looked at your dreams and said, "Not important." But somehow, somewhere in the noise of surviving, pleasing others, avoiding discomfort, protecting your ego, and postponing your courage, your dreams went from loud, colorful, and alive to muted, blurry, and waiting in a corner like something you once loved but no longer open. You didn't kill them, no? You neglected them slowly, softly, almost gently, like forgetting to water a plant you genuinely intended to save tomorrow. And tomorrow always arrived. It just never delivered the version of you that was supposed to be ready. Tomorrow became a storage room for broken promises you made to yourself in moments of inspiration. You said you would start when you felt confident. You said you would move when you had clarity. You said you would risk it when fear felt smaller. But enough for what? Enough to survive? Because you were not built to only pay bills and count years. No one ever told you that bravery doesn't sound loud when it begins. Bravery sounds like, "I guess I'll try," whispered in a shaking voice at 2 a.m. when the world is asleep and you are painfully awake. Because let's be real for a moment, brutally real in a way that stings but heals later. Your deepest pain isn't that life is unfair. Your deepest pain is that you still believe you could be more than you are right now. Because let's be real for a moment, brutally real in a way that stings but heals later. Your deepest pain isn't that life is unfair. Your deepest pain is that you still believe you could be more than you are right now. A dead dream doesn't ache. A dead dream is silent. But your dream, it still hurts when you scroll past someone achieving what you once pictured for yourself. Not because you envy them, but because you recognize the life you delayed inside their momentum. It hurts because you expected that to be you. Not by accident, but by destiny you once defended fiercely, before life convinced you to shrink your voice, soften your hunger, and negotiate your ambition into something safe, socially acceptable, and emotionally numb. The world never broke you. Disappointment broke you. Not disappointment in people, not disappointment in results. Disappointment in the version of you that kept promising later when your soul begged for now. And the tragedy isn't loud, it's heartbreakingly quiet. It sounds like laughing through days you don't feel present in, posting moments you're not fully living, starting sentences with "I'll do it soon," and ending nights wondering where your fire went. Regret is not dramatic at first. Regret doesn't crash like disaster. Regret settles politely like dust in an abandoned house, so thin at first you don't notice, until one day you trace your finger along the surface of your life and realize you can write your name in the story you never inhabited. The heaviest realizations don't scream. They sit beside you gently and say, "We were meant for more than this, weren't we?" And you have no defense, because deep down you know the answer. You don't lack ability. You lack the decision to use it. You don't lack time. You lack the respect for it. You don't lack potential. You are being suffocated by it, because unused potential is not a gift. It's a burden that gets heavier with aging. People think failure carries weight, but failure feels light compared to the unbearable heaviness of never trying at all. Failure bruises the ego, but regret fractures the identity. Failure asks you to get back up, but regret whispers that you never stood up in the first place. And the dangerous thing about regret is that it introduces itself disguised as comfort. Comfort doesn't argue with you. Comfort hugs your hesitation like an old friend and says, "Stay here. No risk, no embarrassment, no struggle. Just rest. You've done enough." But enough for what? Enough to survive? Because you were not built to only pay bills and count years. There is an unlived life inside you pounding its fists against your ribcage every time you witness someone live loudly in their purpose. The world calls it inspiration, but your heart calls it recognition. A mirror moment you pretend didn't shake something deep. You scroll past quotes like they're entertainment, but your spirit reads them like direct messages from a future you keeps begging you not to disappoint. The scariest question is not, what if I fail? The scariest question is, what if I succeed too late to enjoy it? What if you become everything you were meant to be, but old enough that the victory feels like evidence instead of celebration? What if you become proof that you were capable, but too late to become the story? That's the real heartbreak. Not losing, arriving late to a race you were built to win. And listen closely. This isn't a speech about grinding without breathing. This is not another voice romanticizing exhaustion. This is bigger than hustle. This is about betrayal. Not the kind done to you, but the kind you do quietly to yourself every time you choose ease over evolution. Every time you choose distraction over discipline. Every time you scroll instead of build, sleep instead of plan, silence instead of speak, hesitate instead of begin. And listen closely. This isn't a speech about grinding without breathing. This is not another voice romanticizing exhaustion. This is bigger than hustle. This is about betrayal. Not the kind done to you, but the kind you do quietly to yourself every time you choose ease over evolution. Every time you choose distraction over discipline. Every time you scroll instead of build, sleep instead of plan, silence instead of speak, hesitate instead of begin. You are not failing because life is too heavy. You are struggling because your potential is too loud to ignore forever. You are not tired of trying. You are tired of disappointing the child you used to be, the one who looked at the world without negotiating permission to shine. Pain means the story is still awake. Guilt means you haven't quit, you're just disappointed. And disappointment is proof of belief. Bones don't ache for wars they never fought in. Your spirit is bruised because it showed up to a battlefield your actions never attended. But hear this clearly, slowly, gently, like a truth said with a hand on your shoulder. The story is not over. You are mid-chapter, not epilogue. The fire is low, not gone. The dream is quiet, not dead. You didn't lose your chance, you postponed your arrival. Something in you still whispers again. Not start fresh, not be perfect, not be fearless, not be ready, not be extraordinary tomorrow, just again. Try again with shaking hands. Stand again on weak knees. Believe again with bruised hope. Because life doesn't crown perfection. Life crowns persistence. And one day, hopefully sooner than fear wants you to believe, you will say with calm astonishment, "I almost gave up on a person who was only in chapter 2. And you will smile at the version of you who finally stopped bargaining and started becoming. The clock never stops ticking, but the miracle is this: you are still here while it does. And as long as you are still here, the story isn't finished. It's waiting. Not for your strength, not for your readiness, not for your confidence. It's waiting for your decision to move even while afraid. That's how legends begin, not with certainty, but with a whisper finally followed by emotion.